All right, if you have a pork tenderloin destined for the grill, as far as I'm concerned, this is the only marinade you need. I build it in an 8-ounce jar because we don't need a lot. It's potent stuff. Begins with 1/2 cup of lime juice for acid. And yes, it's got to be fresh squeezed. Now, before squeezing said limes, you're going to need 4 to get your 1/2 cup. Finally, grate the zest of just one of them and toss that into the mix. Now, to balance some of that sour, we'll need some sweetness in the form of a 1/4 cup of honey. Lighter varieties are better than darker varieties. 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt will lend a briny bite and also give our marinade a chemical, advantage that we'll get into later. Some additional flavor will come from 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, which I prefer to the raw ingredient because it disperses more easily in the marinade. Put on the lid and just give that a good shake to combine. There. Now, I am going to put 1/2 of this into a zip top bag, gallon size, along with our trimmed pork tenderloin. The rest of it we will reserve for later use. Now, last but by no means least, a little heat. I have here 1 chipotle chili. This was canned in adobo sauce, and I simply finely diced it. Now, that goes in. We give it a nice little massage around the meat and seal, removing as much air as possible. Now, in as little as 6 hours, we will have positive effect, but 24, well, that'll give us a whole new piece of meat. If you've spent any time around a grillman in a restaurant, you've probably seen one of these. It's just a side towel with a little twine around it. Keep it in a container with a little bit of oil so that you can swab the grill thusly. Just give it a quick rub down. That is all the lubrication that is needed. But you want to make sure there isn't so much oil here that this all bursts into flames. That would be not necessarily a good thing. There. Now we're ready for the meat. No lubrication on the meat, that's important. And right down on the hottest part of the fire. Reapply the cover, and we time 1½ minutes. 1.5 minutes is up, so give your tenderloin a 1/4 turn. There, now re-lid, and we will time another 1.5 minutes. Then we're gonna roll another 90 degrees. We're gonna keep that going until we have accumulated 12 minutes of cooking time. But actually what's more important is that in the end, we've got to hit an internal temperature of 140 degrees. That looks good. Nice char, but not too Pompeii-like. And we actually have a temperature of 141 degrees. We only missed it by a degree, so that is good. Now, we need to get this into our little dugout. You remember that? That goes in, and we'll pour on the reserved marinade right on top. There. Now, just crimp this down to make a nice tight seal. We're gonna let this sit for at least 10 minutes before serving. Sliced on the bias and sprinkled with some cilantro, you've got yourself a fast and flavorful main course, but well, I guess eating all this at once would be bad.
Actually, according to the USDA, a 3-ounce portion of pork tenderloin only contains 2.98 grams of fat compared to an equal portion of skinless chicken breast, which contains 3.03 grams of fat. Plus, pork is packed with B vitamins and plenty of iron.
And it doesn't taste one bit like chicken.
No, it doesn't. Still, you shouldn't eat all of this at once.